Well, hello there, everyone in Prairie Rose. We are so excited to be with you today to do some Christmas digital art. I'm one of your instructional coaches, Mrs. Cannikins, and we also have
Mrs. Nixdorf, another instructional coach.
And Mrs. Hines. The other instructional coach wasn't able to join us today. So today we are going to learn about some digital art as we make a nice Christmas design, and we're just going to hop right in and get started with that. So, teachers, the first thing we want you to know is that this is a co-taught lesson. Ms. Nixdorf and I are going to do the teaching, and at any point, if you need to stop and hear the instructions again, you just press pause or rewind as many times as you need to, or if you need to get all your students finished a step, you just press pause and then you press play when you're ready to join us. So do not think that you need to stay with us step by step over the next 40 minutes or so. So you just take your time and do what you need. So at the end, we are going to be creating some cute little Christmas gnomes that look like this. And we are going to get started. So teachers, a couple of things that we can do. What you might want to consider if your internet's feeling brave today is to create one slide deck and then have each of your students join on a separate slide. So that's one way where you can kind of keep an eye on everybody easily. Now, if you just want to dive in right now, that's okay too. Students can go slides.new in a new tab. So just like that, slides.new, we'd have a new tab that looks like that. So when you are in your new slide deck, you are going to do a couple things to get set. So the first thing we're going to do, if you have the themes bar that pops up, you are going to click the X and close that. Right away, our picture's bigger. Now, the other thing we're going to want to do is get rid of these default boxes that have words in them. So to do that, we click inside of one box. You see that big blue square? That's the magic. When the blue square is clicked, I can press my backspace button and it will take care of that, get rid of it. So I'm going to click the bottom one. There's that blue border. So that means that object is live. I'm going to press my backspace. Oh, sometimes we're in the box and sometimes we're on the box. Now backspace should work. There we go. So now I have a nice blank slide that we are going to be working in.
Now, another important tip, Mrs. Cannikins, when we start a new file is that we always want to name our file so we know what we're working with.
Exactly. So we will go Christmas Gnome. It's kind of a funny word. Christmas Gnome. And so that's what we're going to title it, or Google Slides Christmas Gnome. Absolutely. Good suggestion. We should never forget to put that outline in there, Mrs. Nixdorf. Okay, so we have this blank slide. Now we're going to get down to business. Very first thing we're going to do is we are going to learn how to create a background. Now, the nice thing about a background is it doesn't move around. So we're just going to use a colored background today. So in your toolbar, you're going to see the word background, and we're going to pick probably a nice blue color. Let's see. There we go. Nice blue, or something that kind of looks like a sky background. So I've got blue, so we'll show you one more time. Background, pick a color. We don't want a really dark one. You probably want blue in the first 2 or 3 layers. So you pick your color, and then you press done, and then you have a background. All right, and so the very first shape that we are going to create is the body of our gnome. And so I'm going to come up to the shape. So if you see my yellow cursor here, when I hover over shapes, I get the word shape, and I click on that. I'm going to click on shapes, and I'm going to click on this guy as an oval. So I'm going to start my oval about halfway down the page in the middle. I'm going to drag, so it looks like an egg. Boop, just like that. I'm going to create that oval. Now, if I wanted to move it a little bit up or down, I can use the arrow keys in the bottom of my keyboard. So up arrow, down arrow, left and right, I can move them around. That's an easy way to move that. Now, you'll notice if I don't have that blue box clicked, oopsie, whoop, the wrong thing happens. There we go. If I don't have that blue box clicked, other things move. But we didn't want that. We just wanted the shape to move. All right, so now what we're gonna do is, let's say we wanted to make that oval a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. I'm gonna teach you a shortcut. So on your keyboard with your left hand, you're gonna click down Control and Alt with your left hand, and you're going to use K to make the shape bigger. And you're going to use J to make it smaller. Now, if you're in Miss Fletcher Wilson's class or Miss Hardiker's class, we've already practiced that, so you'll be experts. All right, so Control-Alt-K to make it a little bigger, J to make it a little smaller. I'm going to go make this gnome right about there. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. Now, the next thing we're going to do with our shapes is we are going to remove some of the borders, and we're going to color it in. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to that paint bucket. You'll notice I've got that blue box around. So my paint bucket is going to show, and I'm going to make my first gnome red. Okay, so now I have a red gnome, but he's got a skinny little black line around him that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to click on that red, so I get the blue box around. And this time I'm going to go to the pen with an underline. That's called the border color. I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm going to click transparent. So that means it doesn't have any kind of a border around it at all. So now we've got the body of our gnome. All right, next thing we're going to do is we are going to give our gnome some feet. So we're going to go back up to that shape tool, click on shape tool, shapes, and this time I'm going to use this little guy right here. It's called chord shape. So I'm going to put it around about where his foot is. Okay, now if I go Alt and the arrow key, I can make it so it kind of looks like a shoe. Now, I didn't drag that very good. So do you see these little tiny yellow lines? Well, I want to drag this guy down. I can reposition my shape. Not that much. I didn't do a very good job the first time. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to try again. See if I can get that a little bit more true. Okay, so I just want a chord. There we go. So it should kind of look like a half moon. I don't know. A little bit better. Turn him around. Oh, he's still twisted. I'm trying to get a flat bottom on the bottom of his shoe there. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go Control-Alt-K to make it a little bigger. And I'm going to use my down arrow to move it down. Now, I want these shoes to be back or to be black. So I'm going to go back up to my fill bucket and I'm going to make it black. And then I'm going to use another shortcut to give him a second shoe. I'm going to go Control-D. D stands for duplicate or double. So Control-D. Whoops, do you know why that happened? I didn't have the blue box around it. Control-D. And then I'm going to move it over about to where I want it. Now, I want those shoes to look like they're kind of sitting under his body, and right now they're over top. So the next keyboard shortcut that we're going to learn is how to make our objects move up or down in their layers. So in this case, I want it to go underneath. So I'm going to use, Alt and the down arrow. Oh, I did it again. Okay, I'll try that again. I have to have that blue box. Alt and the down arrow.
Control.
Control and the down arrow?
Yeah. Let's try that.
Well, I'm on a Mac, so I have to get Control. Just make sure. No, that should work. Let's see here. Option. Huh. Well, there's another way to do it. If we click on it and we go to order, we go to order and we go to send to back, that'll put it behind, but why isn't mine? Oh. Okay. So if you try Alt and the arrow key, it should work on yours. Mine's not working right now on my Mac, so we'll just put that back. So now we have those shoes that are behind there. All right. So we've got black shoes. They're sitting behind the body of our gnome. Now let's make one more shape. And you'll notice here that if I click off my shapes and I don't have my shape in the back, or if I don't have the blue box, I don't get the fill bucket or the shape tool. So if I click on the shape tool, there it is. I want that oval again. I'm going to make an oval right in the middle. That's going to be his nose. Okay, now I'm going to go to my fill bucket. And this time I want a kind of a skin colory tone. So I'm going to say, let's see here. I'm going to come over maybe about here and pick something that kind of looks like a pinky skin color, pinky olivey skin color. There we go. So I just made a custom color. So you can pick one of the regular colors or you can go into the custom colors. Now I'm going to get rid of that line around it again. So I'm going to click to get the blue box, get the background arrow, and I'm going to click transparent. And so now our gnome has a nice pink nose. Okay. We are about to do the trickiest part. Our gnome, if you look at my gnome friends down here, has a great big beard. And so we are going to make a great big beard on our gnome. Oh, Miss Nixdorf, you just reminded me of something. Teachers, if you need to contact us, you can do so in the YouTube live chat if you are watching live. And so if you want to tell us what color you've made the gnomes in your class, or if you need to send us some other information and you're live right now, you can do that in the chat. All right, so now we're going to do the beard. Okay, so we're going to come up to the squiggly line. We're going to pick it's a line. Mine's squiggled right now because I've been using this. We're going to go down to the curve tool. Now, curve tool is a little tricky. We want the curve tool to make a closed shape. So I'm just going to show you on the side of my screen how it works. So I'm going to click with my mouse to get it started, and then I'm going to make it go in a line, and then I'm going to let go, and then I'm going to come down and click another line, and now I'm going to click again, and I've joined that up. So I've made a shape with smooth edges. So I'm going to show you. I'll make a line inside of my line so you can see it better on the background. So I'll show that one more time. So with the curve tool, I start with a click. There, you can see it better on this background. And then I click. And I click. Now, teachers, this is tricky. And you have to get back to the beginning. And if you double click, then you don't get the line and it breaks and you have to start over. So this might be a little bit moment of frustration. And so this might be where you need to take that pause.
Take a break.
And
pause.
take a break and try it out. So I'm going to show you what my beard is going to look like. So I'm going to come down here and I'm got to get my line tool ready. So I got to get my curve tool. So I'm going to start right here. So I'm going to click, come down, click, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, click, 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 click. I'm going to come up kind of to the top. And now I'm going to come over to join up with my other one. And as soon as I join it all together, he has a beard. Now I can pull that bigger if I want. I can adjust from the sides. So that's going to be my beard. Now, watch this magic. So if I click off of them, I double click, see all these little dots. If I didn't want as much red showing, I can change those dots. Did you know that was next door?
I did know that. And Mrs. Cannikins, we can practice deleting some objects again up in the top corner. Don't forget to delete your funny practice.
You don't like those up there?
Well, they might
Okay,
interfere with our
I'll get rid of them
design.
later. I'm just going to leave them there so we can kind of see simply what that might look like. All right, so there's my beard. Now I'm going to do what I've done in the past. We're going to click on him to get the blue box around. I'm going to come up to the fill bucket, and I want him to have a nice snow white beard. It's kind of gray. Ah, there it is. And then I'm going to click on it again, and I'm going to use the transparent tool, get rid of that line around there. So he has a nice hat, nice beard. Okay. And I'm going to, let's see if I can make this work.
Control
didn't work.
up. Control up.
Yeah, so on my Mac, it's a little different. Not working today.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to order, right click, order, and I'm gonna bring to front. There's usually a couple ways to do things on a computer. All right, the next thing that we're gonna do is we are going to make a Santa hat or a stocking hat, and we're gonna practice with that tool again. In fact, this might be a little easier than the beard. So I'm gonna use the curve tool, and I'm gonna give my Santa a hat. So we'll start about here, come up. I want it to be kind of a nice hat with a nice pokey bit. Whoop. There it is. There is my Santa hat. So again, we're going to fill it. And this time, I think we'll make it red
To match it.
to match his suit. And then we will get rid of that line by going line tool, line border, and transparent. See there? Now it kind of all looks like one. There we go. But he still looks like he has a little bit of a hat on. Okay, now our gnome is pretty much complete, but he's lonely. So we're going to show you another trick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor kind of down to the bottom left. So I'm going to put my cursor here, and I'm going to drag across to the bottom right, and then all the way up to the top right. Okay, so I've dragged bottom left over to the bottom right, up to the top. So now all of the items inside of that blue box are alive. And I'm going to use that Control D or that Control Double tool to make a copy. Watch this. Are you ready for this magic? Control D. I have a whole nother gnome. Now I'm going to slide him over. But before I let go or double click, he's all still selected. I'm going to make him a little smaller. Okay. And then I'm going to Control D again. And I'm going to bring them over here so we have another gnome. Okay, so maybe you only have one gnome and that's okay. Maybe you have 3 gnomes. If you are waiting for some of your friends to get to this part, while you're waiting for them, let's do some gnome decoration. Okay, so let's make some gnome decoration. The other thing we could have done when we had our gnome all selected, so I'll show you again how to do that. I'm going to put my cursor. You could also start in the top left, go click down, hold down, go over to the top right, still holding down, holding down, holding down, and then go to the bottom right. Now he's all selected. I can also use that other one, Control, make sure I get it right, Control Alt and the K key to make him bigger or smaller. All right, so I can also do that, and then I can move my arrow key around to get them just so. So while your friends might be finishing off the gnome, maybe they're working on that beard or that hat, let's do some decoration. Let's say we want to make this first gnome over here a different color. I'm going to click on just the oval body and come up. How about green, Miss Nixdorf?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to make this guy green. We're going to click on his hat, give him a matching. Whoop, that's not quite the same green. I like it when he's all the same. same green hat. Now, I want to give him a different shaped hat. So I'm going to click on the hat. Now, remember when I changed the beard shape? We're going to do that with this guy's hat. So I'm going to blue box, I'm going to double click, and now I get those little points. So I'm actually going to
I'll make it long and skinny.
I'm going to make it long and skinny. So I'm going to
Too skinny.
I just have to decide how to best do this. Okay, I'm going to move these guys over here. Double click to get those dots back. Double click. You get right on there. If I don't get right on that dot, then it goes away.
Oh, I like it. Oh, look at that. It's like an icicle.
This is going to give him a tiny little, point. There we go. We'll give this guy an icicle. So we'll double click on his hat. What color should we make this gnome, Miss Nixdorf?
Well, I was just thinking about that. It might not match, but maybe he should be purple.
Oh, I think Miss Nixdorf and I both have a favorite color that's like purple. Okay, so let's pick a nice purple. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a nice
That's
purple.
a nice purple.
You
I wonder
bet.
if he's going to be too dark. We'll see. Okay. Look at that.
He looks great.
He looks great. So actually, I've got an idea. I'm going to see if I can rotate horizontally his hat.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to move that over there.
So let's show that again.
Okay, so I'm going to click on it, blue line, and then I'm going to do a 2-finger tap on my touchpad till I get the menu. Rotate, flip horizontally. You don't want to do vertically. Watch what happens when you flip vertically. Whoops! That's not what we want. Undo. So flip, rotate, and then flip horizontally. But we want them to go the other way. Okay, so now we've got our hat. Now, I also think that I would like to do a pom-pom on one of these hats. So I'm going to use that curve tool again. I think that would work really good. So here's curve, and I'm going to do a little click, drag, click. Oops. See, I double clicked by accident, and then I had to start over. Curve tool. Okay, click, drag, trying to get them looking a little puffy. Oh, that'll do.
Ooh, I like it.
Little
It's
pom-pom.
abstract.
Little abstract pom-pom. Well, oops. Now, I'm looking for my fill bucket, but I don't see it up there. That's because I don't have anything selected. So I'm going to click on the pom-pom. There's my fill bucket. Ooh, let's make it white. And I'm going to get rid of that border line again because that's what we've been doing. Okay, so, let's give the green guy a little.
Well, we could experiment with other shapes for the pom-pom, Mrs. Cannikins. We
Okay.
could try something like they have the cloud shape. that might
that's
make a
right.
nice
I've used that
fluffy
before for
pom-pom.
my gnomes. Okay, just wait. I got to get rid of my curve tool here. Okay, so let's go back to shapes. And yes, I've used the cloud before. I remember. So I've got the cloud tool now.
Oh, yeah, I
There's a
like
nice
that.
one. And let's make this like a little light green, a little darker shade there. Oh, that's okay, but I got to get rid of that background because now it really sticks out. How's that?
Yes, I like
Okay.
that.
So there we've got another gnome. All right, now we are going to, these gnomes kind of look like they're floating in space. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to use our curve, oops, goodness gracious. We're going to use our curve tool again. And this time we are going to make a great big bunch of snow at the feet of these gnomes. So I'm going to start on the very left-hand side at the bottom of my slide. And I'm actually going to just do a big curve, kind of go up here and down here a little bit, down, up. And I can even go off the page. Now watch over here. I'm off the page. Oh, I broke it. Okay. Got to start over. Okay, curve tool. So I'm trying to get something that looks a little bit like a snowbank. Now here's the tricky part. So I'm going to click on the side and then down below. And then down below again. I can be off the slide. off the slide. I'm going to come back and click it together. There's my snow.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to go order, send to back. So now their feet are standing on it. And of course, we don't want that snow to be gray or yellow.
Oh, that's a bad joke there, Mrs. Cannikins.
It's funny every time. There's some yellow snow. Now, it doesn't matter that it's off the page, because if you print that or you just show it in a slideshow, that will be off the page. So those are some different things that we can do. So while you're waiting for your friends, you might decide to, let's say we want this elf to be a little older. Maybe we give this guy a gray beard. And maybe
I like
maybe
that.
we double click on his beard and we say, this guy, not only does he have a gray beard, but he also likes to be trim and proper. And so maybe his beard's a little shorter. So we can customize each elf if we're a little bit ahead of our friends. And we can do some things with these shapes. Now, we've got some time left. We are going to look at a few other customizations that we can make. So I think the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to see if we can make some sunglasses. I think
I like
one
it.
Of these gnomes need sunglasses. So we're going to do that by inserting images instead of drawing them. We could draw them, but I want to show you a way to dress these elves up, or these gnomes up with some other things. So we're going to go insert image, search the web. Now I'm going to type sunglasses, and I'm going to use transparent. That means see-through. So transparent or transparent background. So I want a nice dark pair. So I'm going to click on it. You see I got the word insert at the bottom.
Whoa.
Now those are a little bit big, but watch this. Control Alt J. And now I'm going to use my down arrow over to the side. Whoop. Oh, now I need the nudge. So shift and the arrow, and I can move any shape a tiny itty little bit. Shift with any of those arrows moves it a tiny little bit. So there, maybe one bigger. There we go. Shift, Alt, K. All right, let's see. What else would we give one of these gnomes? What else would you like to see? Maybe this guy's going to play. So I'm going to go insert image, an instrument. Let's go drums. Transparent background. Let's see. I bet this one isn't going to work. So I think what's going to happen is this is going to have a white box around it, which I don't want. Oh,
it did work.
Okay, so let's put this off to the side.
Oh, it might even be almost the right size for him.
We could actually put it in front. All right, covers his feet a little, but there we go. That's not so bad. All right, so we've got sunglasses, we've got drums.
Well, this is a Christmas picture, so maybe we need some snowflakes. And I was going to say candy canes.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so let's go candy cane. So search the web. I'm going to go get rid of drums. Candy cane.
Now, Mrs. Cannikins, you did keep the transparent background. That's important so we don't get that big white box.
Yeah, and sometimes even though we've chosen it and it shows up, sometimes it still gives that big white box. So I just delete that. So Control Alt J to make it smaller. I'm going to move this over to our green gnome. I think I'm going to stick it in the snow.
Almost like a cane.
Almost like, so I actually make it like a cane. I'm going to take that little button on the top and just turn it a little bit.
Oh, to rotate it.
Yeah, I rotated it a little bit. There we go. So he's got a cane. All right, now let's see here. We're going to add insert image, search the web, snowflake. We'll add some snowflakes.
We've had an awful lot of those this year.
Yes. Now, here's the thing with the snowflake. Oh, that's a nice one. I'm going to use Control-Alt-J to make it a little bit smaller, but I want quite a few snowflakes. So I'm going to maybe a little smaller, and then I'm going to do Control-D. And if I hit Control-D a lot, they go all over the place. So I can drag them with my mouse, or I can click on them and just direct them where I want with the arrows. I can Control-Alt-J or Control-Alt-K to make them a little bit bigger. Have that one kind of falling right on his hat.
Oh, I like that.
All right, so we can make them bigger or smaller. Control-Alt-J. Bring into the picture. There we go. Control-Alt-J. Control-Alt-J. All right. So again, while you're waiting for your friends to figure out that curve tool to make the hat, to make the beard, you can do some decorating. You can add sunglasses or a mustache or a beard.
Well, I wonder, Mrs. Cannakins, if we could add a different background to our gnome scene.
Absolutely. That's going to be the last thing that we do. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to click on, so do you notice if I'm clicked on like a hat or a snowflake, I don't get background in the top. So this time I want to make sure that I have no blue boxes around anything. And I just tap on my background. Then I get the background button. So I'm going to come up to that background button. And I'm going to click on choose image this time.
Oh.
Okay, so choose image. And now I'm going to go to, if you had a photo, a photo of your classroom, you could actually put your classroom back there, but we're just going to do something easy. We're going to put Google Images, and I'm going to use mountain, and I'm going to put the word clip art because I kind of want it to look cartoony like my gnomes, and then I'm going to put background, so that'll search for things that look like they've been made to be a background. So let's see what Google gives us. Oh, lots and lots and lots. Okay, so is there one that's kind of wintry? Let's try some. I'm going to try this one. Let's see. Done.
Ooh.
Now maybe we need to.
I like it.
I like it, except when we move the snow.
Oh yes, we lost
I think that the mountains are too low. So I'm going to try a different one. That one's not perfect for this. So I'm going to click on the background so we get the background. Choose image, and they're all still there. I want one that seems wintry.
Well, what about the one beside the one you chose? It's got a nice high mountain. Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Insert done. Well, there we go.
There it is.
I like that. And the snow is just at the right level. Oh, it's actually got its own snow. Oh, but it also has like an image on it. So actually, I like my snow there.
I think your snow blends in nicely. Yeah.
Covers everything up and blends in nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to duplicate my slide. So I've got my slide, Control-D, and I actually am going to try another background.
Oh, I like it.
Let's say choose image. This time, let's imagine that we are, what's an outdoor sport? Oh, let's try skating rink. Background. Maybe our gnomes can ice skating rink background. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. What about?
Now notice you deleted the word clip art, Mrs. Cannakins. So now these are all mostly pictures or images, not clip art.
And I did that because I don't think that this will be a good clip. Like there won't be good.
It might be tricky.
So let's put them right in the real
world. Let's see.
Okay. So I think I'm liking this. But now guess what we need?
They need some hockey sticks, I think.
Yeah. So let's go insert image, search the web. Ooh, first I'm going to go skates.
Oh boy.
If we can find some skates. Ooh, we don't want to have figure skates. Well, let's try this old-fashioned skate and see what happens. Kind of old-fashioned-y. Oh, he's drawn. Oh, that'll work. Control-Alt-J, make him smaller. Put him on this guy, right over top of his
Boots.
and then click on him. Blue box. Control-D. Okay, there we go. We'll say he's going that way. That kind of works. There we go. And let's see if we can find a hockey stick. So insert, image, search the web. Hockey stick, transparent background.
Oh, that plain black one
This
might
one?
be your best bet,
Let's
but we'll
try
see.
that. Okay. I probably could draw one better than that, but
You might.
we'll just give that a roll. Let's, instead of the arrow key, oops. Goodness gracious. Gotta get the blue box around him before I use the arrow key. Arrow key left, arrow key up. Okay, now he's got. All right, so we can do all sorts of things. Oh, and let's take off the sunglasses. All right, he doesn't need sunglasses while he's playing hockey, although maybe he should have a shield.
We might need a hockey puck.
Oh, well, let's draw a hockey puck. Let's see, shapes. Oh, what about this? I don't know. I'm trying an experiment here.
Ooh, I think that's exactly what you need. And you need to rotate it.
Rotate it. And then I'm going to make, okay, I don't know. I'm going to make it a dark gray. Does that do it?
Yes, and this time, Mrs. Cannikins, you would want to leave the outline so that you can
I can
see.
see that it's a 3D.
Yeah, that's right.
And actually, so I'm going to make it just a smidge lighter so that we can see. Yeah, that works. All right.
Ooh,
So
I like it.
look at all the things that we can do. We can change the shape of the hat. We can add pom-poms. We can reverse the order. We can add shoes and skates and hockey sticks and guitars and drums and all sorts of things. So, friends, if you are ahead of your classmates, you can work on doing some different backgrounds and you can work on customizing your gnomes as well. Let's see some other gnomes I've done. Oh, here's one with my gnomes in the forest.
Oh, and they're going to maybe roast some marshmallows.
Yes. Ooh, actually, I need to insert image, search the web, marshmallow stick. Let's see. I don't know.
Let's see what you get. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, this one's like an actual stick. Let's see here. Oh, and this will be funny, Miss Nixdorf. I'm gonna make it a little smaller, but not much. And I'm gonna see if I can make it long and skinny. Yeah. I'm gonna tilt it downwards. So like all three of them, too much, are holding it.
At the same time. Mm-hmm.
And roasting a marshmallow. Make my stick longer. So I'm gonna click and drag. Distort the image a little bit. There we go. Maybe I need to move my fire over a little bit. But now he's going to burn the tree. I can't move the tree because the tree is part of the background.
Well, be careful. We don't want a forest fire.
Okay. So you can see I've got lots of gnomes in the hockey rink there. All right. Woo! Well, we had a lot of fun. So teachers, if you have your students all working on the same slide deck, did you know at the bottom of that, we call this the film strip on the left, that you can see all of their images at once if you click the view changer? So you might want to do that, and that way you can watch all at once and see who's at which step. I should have reminded you of that at the beginning, not at the end. But we hope that you are having a lot of fun building your gnomes today. Miss Nixdorf, are there any comments from our classes?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. So we think that we would like to say hi to Miss Sleeking's class at IF Cox, and maybe Miss Robbins' class at IF Cox, and Miss Hardiker's class. And at Warren Piers, the students in Miss Fletcher Wilson's class, hello. And then maybe the students in Miss Yeast's class at Irvin. for example. And so, hello. And then maybe at Eagle Butte, if Miss Bonagofsky's students are watching and practicing some digital skills, hello to you as well. And we hope that you have a lot of fun. Now, you can go ahead and, teachers, if you gather those all into a slide deck and you want to share them with Miss Nixdorf and myself,
Oh, we love that.
Maybe they'll even appear in our next coaches newsletter. So we hope that you pause and play and pause and play. Maybe it takes you 2 days to get finished your elves, or maybe you just make single gnomes. I call them elves, gnomes. They kind of look the same. Anyways, maybe you just make one gnome and finish up there. But at any rate, we hope that you've had fun doing some Christmas art. And let's show how we can print those. File. Teachers, if you want to print each one, you can print them as a PDF. And so you could just go ahead and go file. I'll show that again. File, download, and PDF. If you wanted to print them all off as PDF documents, you could print them as images, or you could just print your slide deck and they'd probably go to a page and print really nicely.
Well, you could save them as a PNG or JPEG, and they make a nice or easier shareable image for social media. So that would be another option for you teachers to get onto your school pages.
All right, so lots of ways to share our Christmas art, or maybe we just enjoy it as it is. So thanks for joining us today, and we hope you'll join us the next time that we have a co-taught play and pause lesson.
Bye for now.
All right, bye-bye.